Hey guys, PJN3 Plumbing here, and today I'm going to be doing a comparison on both my porta potties. The blue one to the left is the Armal Wave, and the yellow one to the right is the Polyjohn PJN3. So they are sitting on the gravel here, and it's not even, it's not flat, so they kind of look like they're leaning away from each other, which they are. But it's not like that they're slanted or anything. I mean, they are, but as you can see, the ground isn't level. So if I were to put it on here, they would line up perfectly. So yeah, basically I'm just gonna kind of go over both of these porta potties and show the pros and cons of both of them. So yeah, starting with the Polyjohn, it's kind of interesting. I don't think these are original. Like, I don't think Polyjohn actually uses these when they build them. I think the previous owner put those on there because when he got it brand new, one of his workers backed up into it, and that's why it's dented there. So I think they took the whole thing apart, put all these bolts on there, because if you look at the roof on the side and these walls, they're held together by rivets. And speaking of the walls, I like the way Armal designed their walls more than Polyjohn, because as y'all can see, these walls are only held together by this. Basically the walls aren't even attached. There's only this piece that goes in between here as well that holds it together, and as y'all can see, other than that, there's nothing really holding the walls. So the way the Armal is designed is these two walls actually kind of slide and fit together. Can't really see, but these are two separate pieces, but they kind of link together, if that makes sense. And it's honestly just a lot more sturdy, and I think it'll last a lot longer. You don't have to worry about something like this happening where the plastic breaks off, which I like a lot. So Armal definitely did a lot better than Polyjohn on that. Another thing about Polyjohn PJN3, they do have a different version about this with they have an all plastic front that doesn't have this metal horseshoe ring. So the one thing I don't like about the horseshoe ring is the fact that if something did happen and it got dented, it kind of messes up the unit. And as y'all can see, the door is a little bit lopsided, but other than that, it's not too bad. The locking systems are definitely very different. As y'all can see on the Polyjohn PJN3, it's a sliding latch mechanism. And then on the Armal Wave, if it'll focus, it's kind of like a lever, whatever y'all would want to call this, to lock it. So yeah, other than that, not too much to complain about these on the outside. As y'all can see, the feet on the skids of the Polyjohn are way skinnier than the ones on the Armal. So you kind of have more surface area. If you had like a what would you want to call it, like rebar you wanted to push down in there and bend, you have a lot more surface to grab than this. Again, these are original. It goes around the entire unit. That's what holds the walls to the base. The Armal, they use rivets. So this is probably a little bit more stronger than that, but honestly, since the rivets split out on here, they're probably just about the same. Again, the vents on here, these are actually plastic, and over time these can get brittle. I've seen it before. Let me show you all the inside as well. These are separate. If you took these rivets out, the whole vents would come out, and as you can see, they're kind of flimsy. And again, I've seen these break and fall apart before, but on the Armal Wave, as you can see, they're actually built into the wall itself, so you don't have to worry about it getting brittle and breaking out over time, or people trying to rip them off and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the outside. Both these units do have notches on the roof for straps, so that's definitely a bonus. Let me just start with the inside. Something about Polyjohn that I like more than the Armal is the floor actually has like a rough texture to it to prevent people from slipping, which I definitely think is nice that they thought about it. And then if you go inside the Armal Wave, the plastic is actually smooth, so you are more likely to slip. But other than that, something I do like more about the Armal is it's got this spring here, and it's really nice. You almost can't even tell it's there. When you open the door, that spring will push the door closed but not slam it. Unlike the Polyjohn PJN3, there's this long thing here with this wire here, and I have seen these break too. So or sometimes they'll start rusting inside, and it just is really messy. So and it makes the door slam a lot harder. and it's loud, as y'all can see and hear. So yeah, definitely like the Armal's design better than this. The Polyjohn also puts these strings to help prevent the door from opening too much, which I definitely like that. Armal does not, so you can't open it all the way, and it does hit on the back here, as y'all can see. So if, it's not really good for wind. That could definitely be an issue. It could possibly rip the door off, and I've heard of that happening before. So another thing, one of the cons here is the toilet. Even though it has like an extended lip, it actually is only designed to fit a round front seat, as in the Armal, the seat and the toilet itself is actually elongated, so you can put an elongated seat. This does not have an open front seat, although the Polyjohn does. So and as y'all can see, it's kind of interesting. The seat, like the actual toilet, this is not a defect. They designed it so it's slanted. It's not straight. You wouldn't be facing the door. You're almost facing this thing right here. So, which is kind of interesting. I'm not too sure of the reason. I think they do that just so you're not facing the urinal too much, which I can understand that. But if you were to sit on it, this is pretty much your view. Instead of this, you're pretty much staring at that. Again, I think they only do that just to prevent you from staring at the urinal. Another thing I like about the Armal more than the Polyjohn PJN3 is they don't include a rod and a lock for the toilet paper, unless mine just didn't come with one, but I'm pretty sure they don't come with that. I do not know for sure. So if any of y'all do order a Polyjohn PJN3, let me know if it comes with one of these. The Armal, on the other hand, does come with one, but it is a plastic rod and there is no lock, so someone could easily just open this up and steal your toilet paper, which is not good. And that's why you usually see the metal rods with the locks at the end to prevent people from stealing your toilet paper. So another thing I like about this more than the Polyjohn PJN3 is this can hold 3 rolls of toilet paper, except for the Polyjohn can only hold 2. One thing I do like more about the Polyjohn is that I guess there's multiple pros and cons about this. One of the pros is it doesn't have that long pipe that reaches out. It actually goes straight into the toilet. So, you know, you don't have to worry about a pipe cracking or breaking or someone ripping it off and then, you know, everything will just spill on the floor. So, unlike the Armal Wave over here, it's actually got a pipe that goes from the urinal to the toilet. So, if you sit down on the toilet, you definitely don't have to worry about the urinal being pushed up against you or anything like that, which is nice. And as y'all can see, the floor is actually flush with the toilet, if that makes sense. There's almost no seam down there. On the Polyjohn PJN3, there is kind of a gap between there, and that is the ground underneath. I don't know if y'all can see that really well, but yeah. And if y'all look inside the waste tank of the Polyjohn PJN3, there isn't much design at all. It's pretty much just all flat at the bottom, and then there's just that weird pattern on the back. And as y'all can see, the waste tank is only held in with rivets, unlike the the Armal Wave. It is bolted down to the base of the floor and riveted in the wall. So this definitely isn't super sturdy. As y'all can see, if I pull on it, it does not move at all. It's not going to go anywhere. But Armal went an extra measure and bolted their toilets down to the base, and then of course it's also riveted to the wall. So one thing I do not like about Armal is the fact that the tanks are in 2 pieces, and not that it's a bad design or it looks ugly. The problem with that is if it gets tipped over, no matter which way it flips over, since there is a gap between here, everything will leak out. Unlike on the Polyjohn PJN3, if it got tipped over on its backside or tipped over here, there is no seam, so everything will just kind of push up against there and nothing will leak out. So that's one thing I do like about Polyjohn more, and most other manufacturers do this as well. It's their tanks are in 1 piece. They're molded in 1 piece, unlike Armal, how they do them in 2 pieces. So another thing about Armal that I like is their base is all 1 piece. And by that I mean, if you look at the Polyjohn PJN3, there's the base and then this top portion that's riveted into place. And I have seen it where the rivets will eventually break, or this thing will crack, and people will put wood down here, and that's just not very good at all, and especially because it can rot. On the Polyjohn PJN3, the pipe is a lot thicker than than it is on the Armal Wave. This one is black and it's a little bit smaller. As y'all can see, it doesn't really change any airflow. Again, it's got the nice built-in vent system. Another thing with the urinal, as y'all can see, this one has like a built-in strainer, which I don't think is a good idea because it would be more prone to clogging, especially if people put garbage in there. Unlike this one, it's just a hole, so everything will go straight down the tank, which, you know, will help prevent the urinal from clogging. And another feature about the PJN3 that's better than the Armal is they actually include a mirror, which isn't really necessary, but I like it. One thing the Polyjohn does not have is the coat hook up on top, which this one does. And another thing is you can, I'm pretty sure this is an accessory. They might charge you extra for it, I'm not sure, but they do sometimes. They will have like brackets on it like these, so you can lock the unit. Armal actually requires it, so no matter what Armal porta potty you get, they will come with this standard without any extra charge. What these holes are for here, I don't know. They might be to drain the extra plastic when they're making it in the molds. Again, I'm not too sure how they make these and how the factory works, but yeah, now I am going to tip these on their backs and I'll show you all the bases. Sorry this is a long video, but yeah, I'll be back once both of these are tipped over. Alrighty, now that I have these tipped over, I will show you all the underside. So honestly, I'm not sure which one may be stronger. If I'm gonna be honest, I think this design is a little bit better. It's a lot more thick. That way the floor doesn't flex, but none of these, if you stand in it, the floor is fine. I just think that design's a little bit better. As y'all can see, both of the waste tanks have that bulge at the bottom. Armal's is a little bit different, but again, that's just to direct all the waste into the middle. So when you pump it out, it makes it a little bit easier. So pretty much there isn't a whole lot to talk about underneath. There's really no benefits to any of these. The plastic on here is a little bit thin. As y'all can see, I can literally bend it with my fingers, but it's not like there's like, you know, a whole lot of weight going into these. I mean, they're just plastic overall. So again, the way these walls are bolted down, or not really bolted down, but mounted to the base, and the whole porta potty is assembled like this with those rivets. Polyjohn, they just mine does not have the original screws that held it down, or excuse me, hold the walls down to the base, just because again, this was hit by somebody's vehicle before I even got it, and they tried to repair it and didn't do a very good job. But yeah, so again, there's not too much benefits. Something I like about Armal is they actually put these notches right here and right here, and they're pretty big notches too. And what that does is when you load it up onto your truck, you know, you can actually slide the unit up onto the corner of the truck, and that way it'll hold it in place, so you can actually pick it up and push it onto the truck. Polyjohn kind of has it, but it's not. As y'all can see, the indentation isn't that big, so it's more likely to slide off. And here's the date. This one was made in 2017. So yeah, again, nothing too much else to really show or say about these. I mean, they're both porta potties, so they're all basically similar in ways. Something about Polyjohn is if you wanted to order a flushing one, you couldn't just buy a kit. You have to buy a whole new porta potty. Unlike Armal, you can actually just buy a kit, and that's why there's this circle here for you to cut out and add the kit, which is I guess you could say more convenient. This Armal Wave actually does weigh a little bit more than the Polyjohn, so if you aren't that strong, I'd recommend the PJN3. They're both really well built units, but you know, usually you don't want one super light because you don't want it to get knocked over easily, but you also don't want it to be super heavy because if you're moving these things all day, it can be a pain. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess I can show you all the roofs on top really quick. They're not too different. They're both translucent, which means it allows the light to shine in. Polyjohn, the roofs are okay. I mean, as y'all can see, they're a little bit flimsy. I can bend it in. Unlike the Armal, it's a lot harder to bend in. They're a lot more sturdy, and as y'all can see, the pipe on the Polyjohn PJN3 is a lot bigger than that one. And also on the roof, it's kind of like they cut out a section of it for the pipe. Unlike this, they just extended the roof out and kind of hugs the pipe, if that makes any sense. Another thing, Polyjohn, their hinges are just like really thin metal and they're riveted into place. Unlike Armal, they actually use these like more thick, heavy plastic brackets. So honestly, I don't know which is better. I'd guess this, especially just because these rivets can fall out of place. And a good example is, as y'all can see, one already fell out here, and these are both brand new units too. So I have never, you know, I've used a lot of porta potties before, mostly Polyjohn and Satellite, and a few you know, what is the other company called? There was 5 Peaks that was also bought out by Satellite, but then there's also Poly Portables. But I've usually mostly used Polyjohn, and I've never had a bad experience with them. This is like my first time ever seeing an Armal in person, just because they're not super common. But yeah, overall they're both really good porta potties. I don't really think there's anything else I missed, and if there is anything specific y'all wanted to see on these porta potties, please let me know and I'll be happy to make a video. But again, sorry these videos are so long. It's just there's a lot to go over. So yeah, I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, leave y'all's comments down below, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.